Hey, well, I thought I might take the opportunity this evening to show you how that roundhouse kick would look, as well as hitting the arm, that strategy I was discussing with you. So, I'm gonna try to do that. For everybody else, consider this sort of a companion presentation to when we originally have material on kicking in the on the channel videos. Okay, so first of all, before we talk about alterations, let's talk about what a proper roundhouse kick should be. And I would say that for purposes of a benchmark, the Muay Thai understanding is probably the best. Okay, some of the things that make that kick so effective. First of all, when you are delivering your kick to your opponent, it's very important that your leg is as parallel to the ground as it can be, because when you're generating force, you want it to go into the target. Okay, so for example, if I'm hitting upwards or downwards, Beans, go to bed. Beans, go to bed. You're okay, go to bed. You want it to go directly, okay, into what you're hitting, okay? Therefore, this kicking leg, okay, you want it to be as parallel as you can possibly get it, okay? I don't have the best kicking dynamics these days because of my injuries, but basically, I'm going to use this for support to show you that this leg, you want this to be parallel as you possibly can get it, okay? So your force is coming at a parallel point into your target. When I throw my kicks, I don't even care about the second part of the kick from the knee. It's just not important. There's really no force in this movement, okay? The force comes from what your body is doing here, okay? So I will adjust my kick according to my opponent. I won't worry about taking this and snapping this out, all right? That's also because of my own particular circumstances. So how can we cheat on that kick and get a little bit more height? Well, when we're trying to chamber that leg, we have to then be mindful of the knee point we're chambering from, because that is sort of a limitation to how high we can kick. So that does require some flexibility. Okay, so when you're here, if you want to come up, this has to come up higher. You have to come back. Your pivoting foot has to be in such a position to enable that. One way to cheat on that is, as I told you, you create a little bit more of an arc and you bring the kick straight up, okay? So instead of coming here and chambering, okay, you basically come around here, okay? And when I'm about here, I come up into my target, okay? Of course you're hitting with the shin, so where your foot is shouldn't matter so much. So you're here, pow. Now, you can turn that over on impact if you want. But that's the general gist of it. It's kind of a unique approach when you're kicking to the head because it's otherwise untelegraphed. And whenever you're chambering your leg, you're kind of telegraphing your kicks, okay? So if I'm here and I'm using that, instead of coming here, okay, I'm coming here. You don't see where the kick is coming from. I could come here, okay? I could come here, okay? Or I could come here. So it has its applications. As a matter of fact, if you look at this, I can show you some other aspects of this that precede kicking very effectively at kind of a higher level of understanding body mechanics. if I'm doing a side kick, okay? This hip assembly depends on me chambering the leg, coming out, and this doesn't turn very much. So what happens is you're virtually locking your hip, and when you lock your hip, you create an impasse, okay? When you hit your target, the energy that comes back towards you goes right into your body, okay? It doesn't ground properly because of your hip being closed. Watch this back hip, okay? I'm here and here, okay? When this doesn't really open on the kick, when impact is made right about here, weight, force will go into the object and bam, into this hip. So, one trick to make all your energy go into your opponent is when I do that kick, I open this hip up completely, okay? So for example, here, see this foot? Okay, so here, just like such. It doesn't look pretty, but it's untelegraphed, and all the energy is going into my target, okay? So here, with a back leg, same idea. Here, coming around, coming here. Instead of here, I'm bringing it in and through. I'm opening up this hip assembly, so anything that comes back goes right into the ground, through me, and into my opponent. Nothing jars me back. The same principle if I'm throwing a punch, okay? Watch this elbow. If I do this, okay? Big mistake karate guys make. Instead of this, okay? This puts me here, and it grounds me. This takes my power and subtracts from it by pushing me backwards off my base of strength, okay? So that's something else to consider when you're kicking that you can use. With a front kick, it's the same understanding. When I'm doing my front kick, watch this foot. Here, here, okay? Here, this turns all the way out. Whether I'm doing is thrusting, okay? A rising, okay? Or even like a round kick, okay? By turning this out, okay? It goes right into the target, okay? As opposed to doing this. See that? This foot comes back off of this, subtracts from my power. So I learned when I do my kick just to come through with my pivot. The other trick to this is as you get better with your body dynamics, you want your kicks to have the capacity like explosiveness. So, for example, I don't chamber because it telegraphs. That's just me. I've been doing this many years. You have to sort of go through that process because most people don't want you to chamber your kicks. But when I'm doing this, I'm exploding into my kick by loading it, just like your punch, okay? So here, I'm in a position initially where I have potential energy, pow, right? Same thing with the kick. When I'm here, see this movement? Okay? So I'm doing this kick. Watch how the leg works, okay? I'm not here kicking, okay? I'm coming and I'm exploding into my target, okay? And as I do that, I'm sinking down and extending. Pow! Pow! Toe step, okay? If I'm doing a roundhouse this way, same thing. Here, I'm not coming here and kicking, okay? I'm coming and I'm exploding. Pow! Through the target. Pow! It also allows me to set up immediately, boom, for the next thing I want to do. So, you also asked me about different things you can do with a kick. And there's so many different things. It's hard to go through them all, but I'll go through some brief things. With a rising toe stab, you have the floating rib area, you have the vagus nerve under the arm, the chin, the throat, the groin, okay? If you're fighting a boxer, an excellent technique is to set up like you're gonna box with them, get them all, give them a target, and as they focus in on that, bam! A kick to the groin, okay? For example, with a side kick, leg check. You get somebody coming in, encroaching really fast and hard, you just use the leg to stop them. Here, just bam, okay? Pow! You just stop their momentum and key off of that. Now you're loaded on this hip, right? So, 1, 2. 1, 2. Or reverse. 1, 2. So, other than that, for your side kick, using your heel primarily, sometimes the blade of the foot, the shin is an excellent target, the knee, any part of the body that has a bone target is good, and the liver is a good target. And for the roundhouse, you take their legs out. There's also a point called sasumi, which is on the thigh. When you hit it, you can drop a person, but I need somebody to help me to demonstrate that for you. Now, let's talk about hitting the arm, okay? You have what's called a nagash, circular or upwards movement, so that when your punch comes, pow, I'm attacking it with my own arm, okay? And instead of blocking that, it's an attack. I'm striking here, okay, which is a very sensitive area here, these, or here, or under the ulnar process of the elbow, not on the elbow, but just under it, coming down, okay, down, so that it strikes this, okay? When you do that, you can actually follow through on that with proper body positioning. So instead of just hitting and standing, I come through, and now I've got you moving this way, okay? But it's not a 1, 2. Your punch is like this, okay? I'm setting up so if you're jabbing, I'm putting my elbow out to catch your jab, okay? My chin is down, forehead up so that you can't get it through. You'll catch this when you jab, and at a certain point when you're bringing your arm back, I'll step out, smash to follow through and come across, okay? Which gives me positioning into your body, okay? So you can look at the same principle with any block, something like a hard block where you're pronating the arm, okay? Instead of trying to do it like you're blocking, think of it as you're breaking this arm and using that arm immediately thereafter. So you don't give him more than one possible opportunity to hit you, okay? You can go this way too. Okay, same idea. When I'm doing these strikes, I'm using the whole shoulder assembly. Pow, pow, pow. Hitting through the person. And I'm doing it so that immediately I can follow up. I don't have to think about it. Pow, 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 pow. This can continue its assault to keep you off balance, so I can set up for whatever else I might want to do subsequent. So that's how we look at blocking. It's not defensive, it's an attack on the arm, okay? If you really have to create distance, use your body movement to do it. don't try to use these movements because the person will keep punching unless you do something to make them stop. Let's see, is there anything else that you had asked about? This will help everybody a little bit, but I do want to specifically address some of the things we'll want some information about. Leaning back, that's the last thing we'll do about. Yeah, when you're doing side kicks and stuff, people who throw them, they don't lean back. If they're doing it properly, they use pendulum movement, which is sometimes called a mule kick. Okay, so from here, instead of doing this, okay, what I'm really doing is I'm pendulating, and as I'm pendulating, I'm turning this out, okay, like this. So that's the kick, okay? Here, head comes down, leg comes up. It's a quick pow. You don't even extend it. It's just a bam, you know, right into the body very quickly. But when I'm doing it, the power comes from this. Okay, so you can't really do, if you're doing something like a side kick, you can't do it that way. Not good. If you want more distance on that side kick, again, just practice on telegraph. Just here, right into the kick. Okay? That takes a lot of training though, because most people don't think they generate power that way. However, you do. It just doesn't, it's hard for the body to understand that. But that pendulum kick, it's used in capoeira, where they actually put their hands down on the ground when they do it. It's used when you're fighting on very short, aggressive lines. So from here, this is something I used to teach your father. Chops, right? Chopping in, okay? To the person, as you're chopping in here, you see an opening, you just pow. You just pendulum in, okay? Bam! Hands are still here. You can continue what you're doing. Anyway, I'm going to put this on our channel, and it'll be the latest video dated today.